But it is a stacked grid, a bit of a staggered grid as well in terms of some cars maybe slightly higher up than they'd expect to be. Interested to see what Taylor Norton can do. Stacks of time behind the wheel of an Enduro car. Let's see what he can do behind the wheel of a Clio, which he's taken on for this season. What I do really want to keep an eye on is the Caterham further down the order of Colin Watson. He always goes well.
Yeah, that nimble car is going to be good in these conditions. Right, red light is on, ready to receive this rolling start, and it is that all-white Porsche number 11, Peter Chalice, that has the field under his control, waiting to see the lights go out. Off they go, the hammer's dropped, and we now see the mix of speeds, and they're just having to be a little bit cautious as they come down to this first corner. Up into the lead straight away goes the Radical of Lowe and Stevens. Car number 12, Chalice, out of control, and out of a lot of control there is Andrew Armiger in the 715 Tigra Silhouette. That was a lovely pirouette, out of trouble. 7!
Just about. 3, maybe even 4 wide at one point heading through Druids. These are the quicker cars trying to get through, but of course it's tricky because you don't want to be too aggressive. There's a yellow flag and a spinner up towards the top of Druids. That car gets back going again. I think that was Tony Levy in the Porsche Boxster S, so that car back up and running. But in terms of the sort of prototype-esque cars up at the front doing everything they need to, but it's so busy, and it's going to continue to be over these first few laps until the order shuffles itself out.
Yeah, Clive Hainsford is flying in that Mazda RX8. The 787 car is up to 4th place from 11th on the grid already. His next target is the BMW of Anton Martin, 330. Across the line they go. Now up the inside goes the RX8, and it looks to me as though Anton's kind of given him all the space he needs, as well you probably would in this. If you know that a car is just naturally quicker, you're not going to be daft with this. So up goes Clive Hainsford, up into 3rd place, but we've got the challenge between the lead two, so the prototype cars are fighting amongst themselves. Lowe and Stevens in the orange and white Radical under huge pressure from Graham Charman in that number 5 Juno.
Yeah, Lowe and Stevens has been racing that car for quite a while, I think, but I've not seen the Junior Sports prototype before, so it's on pace, if not a little bit quicker than the Radical in the lead. Anton Martin, I think that car's been re-wrapped, so it was previously blue, and it looks really nice. Yeah, it looks really nice. Over the start-finish line, the battle for first place is really starting to hot up. To the inside goes Graham Charman, dives to the inside late enough on the brakes, he'll get to the apex first, but he is on the polished side of the circuit, which may now have a bit of a drier line. You can definitely see one heading through Graham Hill Bend, but there's the change for the lead. Into the lead goes Graham Charman, and Colin Watson flying through the order. He's now up into 4th place. He's just gone past Anton Martin. The next target for him is the 787 Mazda RX8 in the hands of Clive Hainsford.
Yeah, Paul Jurd's obviously listening, and he's just reminded me Colin Tester, who's out there in the Porsche, one of the instructors here. It was him that showed Valentino Rossi how to go around the GP circuit for the first time ever.
Fame, isn't it?
When he came here racing in the Audi R8 in the GT World Challenge.
Colin Watson up the inside of Clive Hainsford, and whereabouts did Colin Watson start? 23rd place to 3rd, 20 places gained in the space of 2 laps. Last time through, whilst taking the lead, Graham Charman set the fastest lap of the race at 52.592. There was a bit of a lock-up further down. I'm not sure whether that was a spin, maybe, or a peacock, as you say, on the way out of the on the way out to Graham Hill Bend. Unfortunately, Harry goes going very slowly indeed. That's not due to a spin. I think that's a mechanical issue, unfortunately, on that car. Somebody that will have to be very brave in a few moments' time is Nick Underwood, as he's in the Citroen C1 and has got to try and get that car out of the way as nicely as possible, because granted, in comparison to the cars around him, maybe hasn't got the most power. As for Colin Watson, he's got through and past Clive Hainsford and pulled away yet more. There's brilliant battles going on further down the order. There's a great little hot hatch battle working its way through turn 1. 3 Ford Fiestas against Taylor Norton at the moment in the sole Renault Clio. Yeah, and I mean, even on the stream we're picking up on another battle just going through Graham Hill Bend at the moment that includes John Lyne, that's for sure. But ahead of them we've got Anton Martin is now at the head of a great tussle, but behind him is the pole sitter Peter Chalice in his Porsche. Then it's the recovering Tigra Silhouette of Andrew Armiger, number 715. So yeah, we've just got down the stream now, coming through Clark Curve. Anton Martin determined to keep. Interestingly, Harry Goes has carried on. Through goes Peter Chalice though, so up a position ahead of Anton Martin. So the number 11 car goes up into 5th place. It is still the lead Class 1 car for, oh no it isn't, sorry, it's the 3rd place now Class 1 car for Chalice. But Armiger is now trying to get, did you see him squirreling under the brakes there as he stepped out of that dry line? This is what we were talking about before the start.
and it's darned if you do, darned if you don't.
So with Harry Goes continuing on, obviously there'll be brief sections of white flag being waved. Very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point you've just heard.
Rod Burley just saying some of these are on slicks, and did you know that about Armiger, that he's on slicks? So that would explain why he had the pirouette at the start that I gave him a 7 for, because he's on the slicks, but they're getting up to temperature now.
Harry goes back up to pace. It seems like maybe an electrical gremlin. That or the pit limiter got stuck on, if it's got one, or something like that, but just it's clearly cleared the code and he's back up and running at race pace once more.
We just had a spin. There's at the C1 up at Druids. I just suddenly on the CCTV saw that happening, and it was directly in front of the very quick Colin Watson, that caterer, and thankfully saw it happening and just kept himself out of harm's way, and it didn't collect him.
I think it was the Ford Fiesta, the number 53 Ford Fiesta in the hands of Gareth Lehane, and did you just hear Clive Hainsford's on wets, was it?
Yeah, which would explain, I said that he'd moved up dramatically from 11th up into 3rd, came through like a cut cat, didn't he? And that would be because he's on the wets.
It's the weird bit now, because if you're a quick car starting at the back, you want to be wets because you've got the confidence to go offline, but there's a dry line now, so you've got to, as soon as you come out the corner, you've got to go onto the wet line to get those tyres back cooled down once more. As for the race lead, only separated by 0.5 of a second as they go along the Cooper straight nose to tail.
I just have a suspicion that they are on differing tyres, these lead 2 as well, because they're going for different parts. Now I need to keep a closer eye on it, because one of them looked to me like he was aiming for the wet parts of the circuit, which is gradually disappearing where they are. Well, before we started this, is that Harry Goes?
Yeah.
Just was about to make a move on the car and didn't realise that there was a car about to lap him. But thankfully, through goes Charman, the number 5 Juno, under growing pressure from Stevens in that radical. Goodness me, they have to be so patient in these prototypes, don't they?
Yeah, Colin Watson going through the same at the moment. He's arriving on the little hot hatch battle, which we noticed earlier on. Ben Urant's got involved as well, but for the moment, Taylor Norton has got to the front of that little train. All of a sudden, lead is getting hampered once more as they headed towards Graham Hill Bend. Absolutely nose to tail. Clive Hainsford still battling away over the start-finish line.
He's a sitting duck now, isn't he? Those wets have gone off. He's just been passed by Chalice, so that takes him out of the top 4 now. Massively bulked by battling back markers going through Graham Hill Bend was the ridiculously quick Watson 92 sat there in 3rd. He just had nowhere to go. You've got the top 3 cars are very small cars that are easily missed in the mirrors. Yeah,
I've had experience of that, where you're looking in the mirrors and you've got caterers and you just see a bit of the top of the roll cage, but it's so easily missed when you take a quick glance. So thankfully, Watson's rolls cage is day glow orange, so there's no really missing that in a hurry.
Not by accident, I suspect.
No, not by accident, absolutely, I would agree. As we look further down the order, the battle I was keeping an eye on, Taylor Norton at the moment, granted 13th place in Class 2, he's 18th overall. He's got the number 91 car behind him of Liam Browning in the Fiesta ST150. Behind that's Ben Uren. Behind him is the 141 of Rob Taylor, also in a Ford Fiesta. And then behind them is Ian Seal, also in a Ford Fiesta ST150. There's some brilliant battles going on amongst themselves. The fog seems to be clearing, but is that in place of rain potentially in a few moments' time? Leader's heading in towards turn 1, slightly deep on the brakes unfortunately for the race leader, which has cost him a little bit of time, but just about holding on to it now is Graham Charman in the Juno Sports prototype.
I have to say as well, I've just clocked that the 448 car of Kyle Wells that was first reserve, so it have started from I presume the pit lane, when realised that there was a gap there, and he's got himself up into 9th position and 4th in class. Now if you remember, I introduced you earlier to Richard Force, or Ricardo Forez as I call it. He's coaching Carl Wells his first ever race.
Wow, going
and
well.
He's up there in, what did I say, was up to 9th, 4th in class, as sat there as first reserve, so started from the pit lane, I would imagine.
That's a lot of cars to overtake.
Really impressive.
Yeah, especially in conditions such as these. Over the start-finish line, the top 2 have separated a little bit now. That's mainly because Graham Charman has set a new fastest lap of the race of 51.315, almost matched by Stevens in 2nd place, but still got a bit of work to do, but carving their way through traffic as efficiently as possible. Colin Watson has got himself a bit of breathing room. Over the start-finish line, he'll be going on to a lap which will be somewhat unhindered by traffic. I'm just looking at where the leaders are. they're heading onto the Cooper Straight, just coming onto the Brabham Straight, is effectively the meat of the field. That's going to be a busy few laps on the way.
Brilliant camera angle we just saw on the stream there as they come out of back end of Cooper Straight, left at the end of the straight through Surtees, and then that right sweep through McLaren and into Clearways, and it just looked right down the barrel of that complex, and it was a great sight when it was busy. And you're looking now at several fights. You've got the multicoloured car of Hainsford, that 787 car, the Mazda RX8, being hunted down by that blue Tigra silhouette of Armature. Remember, a car that started on slicks, thanks to the information from Rob Burley, and hence he had that spin that just sent him down to the back of the field. He's had to work his way through, but they're getting past back markers at the same time, and it really is hold 'em or fold 'em.
It's a great race, isn't it? Because you've got to be confident through traffic, but not reckless through traffic as well. Especially at this stage in a season, right towards the tail end of the season. Speaking of which, Graham Charman not wanting to waste any time in carving his way through the traffic, past one of the ex-Rint Motorsports Ford Fiesta STs, onto the start-finish straight once more goes Graham Charman, still with the number 12 of Lowen Stevens in tow, and they just don't quite know where to go. But again, you can't be reckless at this stage. With the amount of cars around you, you'd rather give up way more time than you think you might gain, especially at this stage in the race, especially in these conditions. And Graham Charman and Lowen Stevens doing that perfectly. They're not just diving to the inside, they're being super patient to try and make sure that their cars get towards the end of the race. Lowen Stevens this time gets separated from Graham Charman onto the Cooper Straight. They do manage to get through the bulk of the field, and we'll have a few clear laps on the way once they've got through and past a few more cars. As for the battles further down the order, who else do we have? There's a good battle down for 18th place, so it would seem, apart from the fact they've just gone through, and that gap separated once more.
Just holding my breath so many times as we watch these lead cars just sort of threading their way through these back markers. But equally, you've got to say, it's not just the leaders that have got this really challenging time. To be a back marker's challenging, isn't it?
You've got to be on the mirrors, but you want to get out the way, but you want to take the racing line like you're entitled to do. So it's a tricky job, a busy job as well. There is a black and white warning flag going out for the Treble 2 machine. That's Harry Goes, clearly playing around with track limits, seeing what he can get away with in his first senior race. As we look down the order, the battle between Clive Hainsford and Andrew Armature, granted in two separate classes, but every time they cross the line the gap is under a second. Unfortunately, we've had a bit of a moment down at Graham Hill Bend. Three cars involved, one of which is the Clio Cup car. We'll try and pick that one out, but yeah, two or three cars involved. One was Ian Seal in the Rint Ford Fiesta ST 150. There was one of the Mazda MX-5s caught up in that car as well. So number 15, that Stuart and Callum Kinner in the Renault Clio Cup Gen 4. That car is back going again. Unfortunately, Ian Seal is destined for retirement. Yeah, there's been contact because the number 15 Clio has got quite substantial suspension damage, and Ian Seal, I think, has got the same. They're desperately trying to get the cars back towards the paddock, and unfortunately, I think Stuart Kinner has got that car stuck on the grass.
Yeah, it's Callum Kinner in the 15 car. Because obviously with this they do one does one race and one does the other, and I almost got the impression that was deliberately side by side to just go, is everything okay with you, sir? Or maybe something a bit more severe than that, who knows?
And also I think Liam Cochrane was the other car involved.
Okay, race leaders are just about to put a lap on Hainsford, so the 787 car who was passed by Armature. Safety car is out. Now, I'm assuming it is for this, but I'm fairly surprised that needed the safety car, probably
because of where it is.
It is just about in the firing line.
He's desperately trying to get it moving, so fair play, but at risk of either bringing fluid or bodywork onto the circuit and damaging his car further.
It's just a shame, isn't it? Because if it had, it lost it at Graham Hill and it could have turned up the relief road here and through the gate and everything would have been okay. Now, granted, probably was hoping that everything was okay and didn't realise. If it even had stopped earlier than it has now, it wouldn't be on the corner.
The
we wouldn't have safety car.
With a tow leak, because you could almost be bobbling along at 10 mile an hour and it's fine. You go that bit too quick and all of a sudden it goes no, and it snatches the wheel round, and especially when you're on grass, if it's dug in, it's tricky. And the last thing I'm sure he would want to do is further damage that car. The safety car yet to pick up the leaders, and good spots by Rod Burley. Anton Martin has closed in onto Clive Hainsford, who is still behind Andrew Armiger, but like you say, struggling on the tyres.
Behind because Armiger was fighting with him, isn't he? So Armiger made that move at last, but Hainsford's on those dying wets, isn't he?
He is.
That really did seem to work, and I'm not surprised because it took so long to get any kind of dry line, didn't it? That you kind of go, well, surely it's just going to stay wet here, but no, it's been shifted quite considerably. If we look down here at Graham Hill Bend, it's still only one dry line, but unlike we had at the start, it's quite a wide dry line now. And there's the stricken number 15 car at the end of the Cooper Straight, just as you turn left at Surtees, and just not able to go anywhere. The front wheels are pointing in different directions. That's what my eyes do after a night on the sauce, I've got to be honest.
But I think one part of the car wants the Indy circuit, the other wants the GP, by the looks of it. So the safety car has managed to pick up the leader. And how long do we have left? We've got 4 minutes left. It's going to be touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't see that we're going to get this recovered, because if those front wheels are pointing in different directions, that's not exactly. They've got to lift that up. If we're lucky, lift the front up, but it probably is up onto a flatbed.
It's the hands again, isn't it? You like my...
I do.
Yeah.
I was with you, mate. I was following you. Now, they have got the tow pickup, but I think they're likely to see the front wheels in different directions, and I can't see that that's going to work. So if it is, half the tyres are going to be left on the surface. So I do fear that we may well have seen the end of this race that was so entertaining, so much going on up and down through the whole thing. Some beautifully prepared cars out there, without question, and we do get to see them go again later anyway.
We do. That's the joy, I guess, of all-comers. You manage to get 2 20-minute sprint races all in one, so it's
and I'm pretty sure it's not a random grid later, is it?
No.
Based on this result.
Yeah, pretty sure they will have somewhat sorted out.
All of a sudden, the 15 car is driving of its own free will.
No, it is being towed.
Is it?
Yeah, you can see
it was just nearly alongside for a minute, so that's what threw me. They are towing it. That's a relief. I was a bit worried that wouldn't work, but they've just about got it going. That they're able, because it's not very far it needs to go, does it? So even if it's a little bit sketchy, hoik it out of harm's way. We've got 2.5 minutes to go. Here we are. We're going to get. It could be a couple of laps, you know. I know it won't be, because their safety car's going across the line now, so it's going to have to go another lap. So it'll. I
think we might still get 2.
We might.
Which, for those on wet tyres, are loving this, because the tyre temps now come down. They can aim for the puddles if they are there, and aim to get those tyres nice and cool. If you're on slicks, they're really going to have to work those tyres. A bit of trail braking maybe to try and warm the tyre from the inside out. But with 2 minutes to go, the safety car has picked up the pace. I think we're going to get 2 laps.
Yeah, and I guess that's the key one, isn't it? The safety car knows that it can. They'll have radioed through that goes, right, it's going to be out of harm's way. Go, go, go. And they're going to be able to get this underway. What are the first cars behind the safety car? It is our leaders, that's good.
I'm just looking at Nick Underwood in the Citroen C1. He's probably still going around at his race pace. Yeah, to try and catch the safety car queue, but behind him it's sort of 4 or 5 much quicker cars. He's doing everything he can.
Yeah, and they won't be able to do anything until that car's crossed the line, which is always a challenge. Exit stage right for the safety car, and it now means that Charman, number 5, brings us to the line. We've got 1 minute 20, so it is going to be 2 more tours of the Indy circuit.
It will be indeed, on the running towards turn 1 this time. Graham Charman manages to hold on to the race lead. Taylor Norton still pushing on behind the wheel of his Renault Clio. and keeping up with maybe some slightly quicker cars around him. Harry goes, falls foul of the Porsche to the inside of turn 1. I'm just looking further down through the order. Nick Underwood desperately trying to stay out of the way. Fair play to the number 50 machine in the hands of Tony Levy, not overtaking till the start-finish line.
At least that one stuck to the rules.
Yeah.
Maybe not the others.
No. And we've got a car off the BMW, which I said went up the inside, or the Porsche that went up the inside of Harry Goes. Peter Chalice finds himself in the gravel.
Oh, he has, and it's just ripped off some of that rear bodywork, unfortunately, as well. That's normally the one that's got the Arapac livery all over it, isn't it? But yeah, that is unfortunate. So, I mean, the reality is our leaders are now on to that final lap, so they're going to have to let this one go now, because even if they threw the safety car, they can't even throw the red because it is on the last lap. So, and it looks at the moment, Charman has pulled away from Stevens, so the number 5 car has the nod, but it's such a shame there that Chalice was coming on stronger as the race went on, but the number 11 that was running in 4th and was 3rd in class as well, is now out of this race. Just pushed a little bit too hard once the green flag came out. But here comes Jarman, the number 5 car is going to bring it round. 21 laps in the books. Stevens is right with him, to be fair, in that Radical, but it is the Juno that is going to take this victory. Car number 5, the Juno Sports Prototype 2006 car, and it takes the victory. 21 laps and 0.893 clear of the Radical of Lowen Stevens. Across the line, obviously some that are taking it a little bit further back. I just heard Peacock again, a lock-up again. Across the line comes the rest of them. We're still waiting for, where's Armiger? Because, Armiger's just coming round now with Hainsford and Anton Martin just behind him, but those two seem to overtake the back marker long before the line when the safety car was pulled out, so we'll wait and see what happens with those two. But there we go. So Armiger, number 715, Andrew Armiger, comes home in 4th. I did forget, sorry, in 3rd position, 92, Colin Watson. That Radical that started back in 23rd place comes home in 3rd, wins Class S7. In 4th was number 715 Armiger. 787 Clive Hainsford in the RX8 comes home in 5th place, the winner of Class 2, ahead of Anton Martin and Colin Testa in 330 and 911, 2nd and 3rd in Class 2 respectively, 6th and 7th on the road. Brilliant job.
We were going to be joined by Andrew Armiger, but unfortunately he's wandered back to the paddock, I think. We do have Clive Hainsford with us. I can run over and grab a word with Clive in a few moments' time. Let's do it. We're going into lunch. There's no time pressure, so I can grab a word with Clive, who's stood here. Nicely volunteered, Clive. I'll come in and grab a word. This car, it's always incredibly quick, fabulous to watch, and I always seem to spot new little bits that you're doing. Do you ever stop developing?
We're always, every time out, there's always something to do. That was a challenge. Thoroughly enjoyed the race. I was on wets, so they was going off halfway through the race. So I just needed to watch the BMW that's gone there. And I had a brilliant race with him. We both originally come from short circuit oval stuff, so I knew where he was all the time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Great to hear. Very well done.
Thank you.
Quick word with Clive Hainsford. But we are now going into the lunch break. So if you're here at the circuit, make yourself work your way over to the Kentagon for a bite to eat and a spot of lunch. Hopefully the weather holds off. It's slowly starting to lighten up. But this afternoon we've got more racing underway. So from Chris Dawes up in the commentary box and myself, Jack Werrell, down here in the pit lane, we'll see you after lunch.